Hello, welcome to the Zen Den. This is in Watergate Bay in Cornwall. If you're around and you fancy dropping in for a class here, I highly recommend it because as you can see, it's an absolutely beautiful spot. So today I have a nice flow for you, focusing a little bit more on the lower body, opening up through the hips and strengthening the lower body. But hopefully it'll feel like quite a well-rounded practice for you. And yeah, let's just get stuck straight into it. So we're going to start by coming down onto the back in constructive rest pose. So lowering yourself onto the floor, and you can tuck the shoulder blades under here just to give a little bit more space to your chest and your shoulders. And then you can either keep the feet where they are, hips width apart, or you can heel toe the feet as wide as the mat. Let the knees drop in and rest against one another. And we're just going to take a couple of moments here to fully arrive before we start to move. So you can close down the eyes. And then let's take a nice deep breath in together through the nose, fill up the belly. And then softly sigh through the mouth. Again, breathe in through the nose all the way to the top. And soft sigh out through the mouth. We're going to do that again. Deep breath in through the nose. Fill the belly all the way to the top. And this time you're going to hold the breath at the top very briefly. And then take in one more little sip of air. And then release through the mouth. Take one more breath like that. In through the nose. Fill up the belly all the way to the top. Nice and slow. Hold the breath at the top. Take in one more little sip of air. And then exhale through the mouth. Soften into the shoulders. Relaxing the muscles in your face, your jaw, your hips. Just allowing yourself to melt into the floor. Just take a couple more breaths here. Allowing the breath now to come back to its natural pace, just flowing in and out through the nose. Just allow yourself to arrive. Just noticing any sounds around you. Any smells, anything you can feel on your skin or taste. And then on your next breath in, start to slowly blink open the eyes, and you can flip the palms so that the palms are now pressing down into the floor. If you have the feet open as wide as the mat, you can heel toe the feet back in so that they're hips width apart. And then start to press into the heels and squeeze and lift the hips up towards the sky on your inhale. And we're just going to pause here, squeeze in the glutes, squeezing the thighs together, and pressing into the backside of your arms and into your hands so that we don't dump too much strain into the neck. Keep pressing, lifting the hips up nice and high. And then on the exhale, you're going to slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, lower the spine all the way down to the floor. So we first start to lower down the space in between your shoulder blades, and then the mid part of your back, the thoracic spine. And then see if you can land one vertebrae at a time. The lower back starts to land, and then eventually the hips land onto the floor. And then keeping the left foot where it is, start to straighten the right leg up towards the sky. And you can interlace the back side of your right leg, point and flex through the foot. So as you point, feel the stretch in the front side of the ankle. As you flex the foot, feeling a stretch into the back side and into the calf. And then draw in circles in one direction with your ankle. And then change direction on the circle. Lovely. And now release. Bring the hands back to the floor. Keep your right leg where it is. On your next breath in, again, we're going to press into the left foot, lift the hips up towards the sky, point your right toes, and then on your exhale, lower the right ankle to rest on top of the left knee, and then lower the hips all the way down to the floor. Hug the knees into the chest for this figure four pose, this reclined figure four pose. So we're looking for a stretch on the outer right hip here. Keeping the shoulders soft and relaxed. And if this feels too much for you, it's too intense, too soon, just set the left foot back down onto the floor, take it back to here. So just always feeling free to modify the practice, to make sure it suits your needs. If anything is too much, you can always take a rest, or just take it back a little bit, easing out of the pose until it feels good for you. And then start to release. Bring both soles of the feet back down to the floor. And then again, press into the heels, lift the hips up towards the sky, squeeze in the glutes, drawing the knees together. And then slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, lowering all the way back down to the mat, nice and slow. Really feeling each part of the spine as it lands down onto the floor. Feel that contact. Lovely. And then once you arrive, you can send your left foot up to the sky this time, pointing your left toes, hold on to the back of your left leg, and then point and flex that left foot. Feeling any sensations that you can feel in your ankle, your foot, your calf. And then draw in circles with the ankle, one direction. And then change direction on the circle. You might have some clicks and pops here, all good. And then releasing the hands back down to the floor, pressing into your right foot, lifting the hips up to the sky, point your left toes, keep squeezing the glutes, squeeze in the thigh, and then exhale, rest your left ankle on top of the right knee, and then lower all the way down to the floor. And again, you've got those options. You can stay here, or you can hug the knees into the chest. Interlacing the hands around the right leg this time. Keeping the left toes flexed if you can, and softening, relaxing into the shoulders. Bring awareness back to the breath. And then release. Drop both feet down to the floor. I'm just going to shift the hips over to the right side, drop the knees over to the left, taking a supine twist. So the right arm reaches out to the right side, and your left hand can rest on top of the right knee or on your belly, wherever feels comfortable. To bring in a little bit of movement into the spine. Gentle stretch, nothing too crazy here. On an inhale, release. Bring the knees back through center, and then pressing into the feet so you can shift the hips off to the left side, and then drop the knees over to the right. This time reaching your left hand out to the left, and the right hand again can land wherever feels comfortable. I quite like to rest it on top of my knee, but you can rest it on the floor or on your belly, wherever feels comfortable. And gaze can be up towards the sky, or if it feels okay for your neck, you can look over the opposite shoulder to your knees. So the gaze would be over the left shoulder here. I'm really enjoying this view. Hope you are too. From here, keeping the knees where they are, we're just going to roll over onto the right side. So bring your left hand over to the right, and then press into the hands to lift yourself back up, coming into a seat. And you can cross the legs, roll over onto the knees, make your way into a tabletop position. And from here, let's take a few rounds of cat-cow. So when you're ready, on an inhale, drop the belly, look forward. And on an exhale, start to round through the spine, tuck the chin to the chest. And then keep moving with the breath, inhaling as you drop the belly, look forward. Exhale as you round through the spine, really pushing the ground away, finding that separation in between the shoulder blades. Just doing a few more rounds here at the pace of your own breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Linking each breath with the movement. One more here. And exhale. And then come back to a neutral spine. From here, we're going to tuck the toes under and lift the hips up for a downward facing dog. So you don't need to worry about the legs being completely straight here, if you can bend the knees as much as you want. But what we want to focus on more is finding as much length as we can from the tips of the fingers to the tailbone. So we're really pressing into the hands and pushing the upper body back towards the thighs. So if this means the knees are bent a lot like this, it's perfect. Just keep pressing the upper body back and then start to send the hips down, the heels down towards the floor just until you feel a stretch in the backside of the legs. Tilting the tailbone up towards the sky and the gaze is either in between your toes or up towards your belly button. Then just take a few breaths here to pedal out through the legs. Maybe bend one knee and then bend the other. Finding any movements here that feel nice for you. And then coming back to stillness. From here, take an inhale, look towards your fingers. And as you exhale, you can bend the knees, come onto the toes, and start to take some baby steps to the front of the mat, meeting at a forward fold. Let the whole upper body hang heavy. You can take opposite elbows here if that feels good. And allow the exhale to be longer than the inhale. Release the elbows if you had them held. Take an inhale, lift up halfway, find length in the spine, and then exhale, fold forward. On an inhale, roll all the way up to standing. Reach the arms up, palms together, look towards your thumbs, and exhale as you lower the hands in front of the heart. We're going to take a few rounds of sun salutations. So inhale, reach the arms up, palms together. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to lift up halfway. On an exhale, place the hands to the floor, step the feet back, plank pose. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to drop the knees, lower all the way down to the belly, and then inhale for baby cobra. Squeezing the shoulder blades, squeezing the glutes together. And then exhale, press yourself back through a tabletop into downward facing dog. Inhale to look to the front of the mat. Exhale, you can step or hop to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, roll it up to standing. Reach the arms up, palms together. Exhale, lower the hands in front of your heart. Inhale, reach the arms up, palms together. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, hands down, step the feet back, plank pose. Take a breath in here. Now as you exhale, you can take the same variation we took before with the knees dropped, lowering down to the belly, lifting up for baby cobra. Or shift forward on the toes, bend the elbows, keeping the elbows tucked into the rib cage, and then inhale for upward facing dog. So only thing touching the floor is the hands and the tops of the feet, drawing the shoulders back, and exhale, downward facing dog. Take an inhale as you lift your right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. As you exhale, draw the knee into the chest and then bring the foot to the front of the mat in between the hands. Drop the back knee and then we're going to lift the chest, gaze forward here. And as you exhale, start to send the hips back, straighten through the front leg. And then keep moving. Inhaling, send the hips forward, look forward. Exhaling, send the hips back, straighten through the front leg. Inhale, send it forward. Exhale, send it back. Now this time, we're going to start to bring the arms along. So inhale, send it forward, reach the arms up and alongside the ears. And then exhale, start to send it back, brush your fingertips along the floor and then reach the fingertips behind you. So a little bit of a challenge for the balance. Inhale, send it forward, arms up. And exhale, send it back, reach the fingertips behind. One more time, inhale, send it forward. And exhale, send it back. Now this time, inhale, send it forward, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, open twist. Left hand comes forward, right arm comes back. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to reverse it. So slide your right hand and the back of your left hamstring. Reach the left arm up towards the sky. Now gaze can be forward, or if you want to challenge the balance a little bit more, if you feel stable here, you can look up towards the sky. Just one breath in. And then as you breathe out, release. Set your left hand down to the inside of the right foot. Right arm reaches up towards the sky. Gaze is up towards your thumb. Option to press into the back toes and lift your back knee off the floor. Send in the back heel to the back of the room. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, set the right hand down to the inside of your right foot. Heel toe the right foot out to the right side edge of the mat, and then step the right foot back. Plank pose. Pause in here, push the ground away, and see if you can find that dome in between the upper back again. So I'm not here with my shoulders dropped, I'm pressing into the floor, and I'm using that strength to push up and away from the floor. Take one more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, shifting forward on the toes, bending the elbows, lowering down for chaturanga. Shoulders do not come lower than the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then roll the shoulders back, pull the neck back. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Well done. Stay here for 3 breaths. So just find your foundation again in this downward facing dog. Hands are roughly shoulder width apart, if not a little bit wider. Feet are hips width apart. Maybe you have a big bend in the knees, maybe the knees are straight, the legs are straight. It doesn't matter. Just finding what works for you here. So finding that length from the fingertips to the tailbone, lifting your tailbone up towards the sky. Slight tuck of the chin to the chest. Take one more deep breath in. And a slow exhale. See if you can slow down the heart rate by slowing down the breath. Good. Now on your next inhale, lift the left leg up to the sky, 3-legged dog. And as you exhale, drawing that knee into the chest. And then the foot will come to the front of the mat in between the hands. Drop the back knee down, untuck your back toes. You can actually also keep them tucked if you want to. And then gaze forward, feeling that stretch into the right hip flexor, the front side of your right hip. Take a deep breath in here. Then exhale as you start to send the hips back, straighten through that front leg, maybe lifting the toes up towards the sky. And then again, inhale, send the hips forward, lift the chest, lift the gaze forward. And exhale, send it back. One more here, inhale, send it forward. And exhale, send it back. Now this time, bring the arms along for the ride. So inhale, reaching the arms up and alongside the ears, send the hips forward. And exhale, start to straighten the leg, reach the fingertips down and then back behind you, keeping the gaze forward. Inhale, send it forward and up, reaching up through the fingertips. Exhale, send it back. Inhale, send the hips forward. Exhale, send it back. This is the last one. And then inhale, rebend through that front knee, reach the arms up and alongside the ears. And then as you exhale, open twist. This time, right arm comes forward, left arm comes back. Reaching the fingertips as far away from one another as you can. Take a breath in here. And then as you exhale, reverse. So the left hand slides down the back of the right hamstring, right arm reaches up and over. Breathing in. And then as you breathe out, bring the right hand to land in the inside of the left foot. Left arm reaches up towards the sky. Either you stay here or you tuck the back toes, lift the back knee away from the floor, and press back through the back heel. Again, finding as much length as you can here from your right fingertips to your left fingertips. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, set your left hand down to the inside of the left foot. Heel toe your left foot to the left side edge of the mat. You might need to just replace your hands. And then we're going to step the right foot forward, toes pointing out, heels pointing in, and start to lower the hips down for this Malasana Yogi squat. I'm just going to turn to face you. So we're here. Now you might be more like this with the heels lifted. Maybe your hips are all the way up here. It's okay, it doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter how it looks. We're just searching for a sensation, more a feeling than how something looks. So if you're up here, but you feel a stretch here in the inner groin, maybe into the lower back as well, then it's all good. As long as you're not feeling any sensations of pain or anything sharp or tingling, then we're great. So either staying here in stillness, or you can find a little bit of movement here by dropping one knee and then dropping the other one in, or any other movement that feels nice. This is your body, this is your practice. So always feel free to move in a way that feels nourishing for you and good for you, because you deserve it. Lovely. Now from here, we're going to come and sit down on the back of the mat. So a couple of options. You can either use your hands to lower yourself down, or if you want a little bit of mobility challenge, you can interlace the hands out in front of you and see how slowly and how gently you can land the hips down. See if you can do it without rolling back. But if you do roll back, it's all good, because we're going there anyway. So from here, you can either reach the hands out in front of you, and again, we're going to lower one vertebrae at a time down onto the mat to roll down, or you can hold on to the knees. So keeping the soles of the feet on the floor, roughly hips width apart, and whichever way you're going, see how slowly you can make this movement. If you start to shake and wobble, it's all good. It's all part of the practice. It's all part of building strength, building awareness in the body. Lowering one vertebrae at a time. I'm also shaking too. Using control, using the breath. If it feels challenging, it's supposed to be, it's all good. And then eventually set the head down onto the floor, hug the knees into the chest, give yourself a nice big squeeze. And then opening the knees nice and wide. And you can stay here holding on to the knees. This can feel really nice. Or if you want to take a happy baby, you can hold on to the outsides of the feet, send the soles of the feet up towards the sky, and then draw the knees into the armpits. I'm going to take this first variation because that feels better for me today. So wherever you're at, again, you might choose to be in stillness here. You might choose to find a little rocking motion, a little sway from left to right. Choosing whatever feels right for you right now. Your body, your practice. You can start to close the eyes if you haven't done so already. And then again, drawing the knees back together, set the feet down onto the floor, and we're just going to take that same twist that we took at the beginning of the class. So pressing into the feet, just to lift the hips slightly, so you can shift the hips over to the left and then drop the knees over to the right for this supine twist. So right hand can land on top of your left knee, wherever feels comfortable. Left arm can reach out to the left side, or maybe even a little bit further up the floor so that you get a bit more of a stretch into the armpit. And gaze is either up straight ahead, or if it feels okay for your neck, you can turn the gaze to look over the left shoulder. Just notice if this twist feels any different to the first one that we did at the beginning. Even though this is a short class, maybe you feel like you've already created a bit of space in the body. Maybe not. It's okay if you don't. On your next inhale, release. Bring the knees back up through center. Just give yourself a little hug to reset. And then release the soles of the feet to the floor. And again, just pressing into the feet, lift the hips up, shift the hips over to the right a little bit, and then set the hips back down, and then drop the knees over to the left side. Find your comfortable position here. So reaching the right arm out to the right side. Left hand lands where it feels good. Gaze can be up, straight ahead, or over the right shoulder. And just a few breaths here. See if you can Slow down the breath. And just notice the breath here in this pose. As you inhale, can you feel the right side of your ribcage expand? Feeling a little stretch in all those little muscles, the intercostal muscles in between your ribcage. And then feel as they contract as you exhale. Just take in one more breath here. And using your exhale to release, bringing the knees back through center. Again, just readjust on the mat. Give yourself a nice big hug, hugging the knees into the chest. Maybe even lifting the head all the way up to touch the knees. Give yourself a really big squeeze. And then release, make your way into Shavasana. So you can straighten the legs. Let the legs come as wide as the mat, let the feet flop open. And maybe tuck in the shoulder blades under just to give a bit more space again to your chest, your shoulders. Arms are reaching down by the sides with the palms facing up. And we're just going to be here for a few minutes, so try to really make this count. Making any final adjustments you need to make now to get comfortable. If there's a piece of hair or a bit of clothing that you need to fix that's bothering you, then do that now. And then get nice and comfy. Allowing the whole body to rest. Before you continue with your day. So for these next couple of minutes here, see if you can focus all of your awareness just on your breath. Without the need to force or control the breath in any way. Just watch the breath. Watch it as it comes in through the nose, travels down through your chest, your diaphragm, into the lower belly. Noticing the belly expand. And then feeling the breath as it exits the body. And everything starts to contract. When you're ready, start to bring awareness back to the body. Start by taking a nice deep breath in through the nose, fill up the belly. And then open the mouth, release. Start to bring some small movements back into the body, into the fingertips and the toes. Start to draw some circles with the wrists and the ankles. And then draw the legs together, reach the arms up and over the head for a nice big stretch. And then hugging the knees into the chest for one last little hug, one last little squeeze. And then roll yourself onto one side, resting in a fetal position just for a breath or two. Maybe using your arm as a pillow for the head. And keeping the eyes closed for now, just very gently and slowly making your way back into a comfortable seated position. Taking your time to get there. And when you arrive, sit nice and tall, finding length in the spine. Bring the palms together in front of your heart. And just take in a moment to notice any benefits, any subtle changes you might feel from the practice. Even though it was a short practice, maybe you still felt the heart rate rise, the blood pumping, building a little bit of heat and energy in the body. Maybe you feel a bit more open. There's no right or wrong here, just observe. And then just thanking yourself for the practice today. Thank you for showing up, for moving the body, for taking care of yourself mentally and physically. Whenever you're ready, you can bow the forehead down to meet the thumbs. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope you enjoyed the practice, and I hope you have a wonderful day ahead. If you have any comments or any feedback, please leave a comment. And I want to provide classes that work for you. So if there's anything in particular that you want to see or that you want to work on, let me know. And yeah, just give me some feedback in the comments. I'd be so, so grateful. Thank you so much, and hopefully see you again here soon. Bye.